But as closer I get to the ring, I'm more confident. Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one could beat me. A good fight is just to be diligent and committed and disciplined, doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. You know, always testing yourself and forcing yourself to the limits, you know. That's what success in general is all about, sacrifice. From my experience of any little success I may have had, just be willing to sacrifice, you know. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't have fun accomplishing your goals. And then sometimes people don't have the determination, the will, and the steadfastness, the tenacity. They give in under the slightest struggle. What I found out in life, as life goes on, life is about losing. As we get older, we lose our hair, we lose our teeth, we lose our mothers, our fathers, our sisters, and but it's the ones who overcome, they're lost in life and could shun away adversity and always willing to fight it. Every particular moment in life are the ones that are able to transcend and be able to spread the word to other people who's in that same particular genre as they are.
I know there's people that are jealous. And I understand jealousy is cool. I like jealousy. It's very inspirational. I love the haters. They inspire me.
I was a young kid and I was just out of my league as far as the people coming at me, the attention. It was far more than what I anticipated. I never thought about being a fighter until I was in a detention school. And a gentleman by the name of Bobby Stewart would box with the kids if they behaved well and got on the level and they could blow up some steam, and then he started showing me how to box. I never had a pair of boxing gloves on in my life. He said, you can do this. Since I started training with him, and then he took me to Custom Model and he said that you could change your life. I never had a father, but I know what it's like to want to make a father happy. And so I wanted to be champion to make him happy. You know, no, I don't care how great you are, how much you succeed, without self-love, you're nothing. Because self-love is discipline. And discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. Determination, never giving up. And you can accomplish anything you want in life and never say the word can't. Competition is great. It builds character. And it gives you backbone. You don't have to give in. Competition is always good because it helps you not to give in under the slightest struggle in life.
I feel I was born to fight because I have no other interest in anything else. Everybody's a fighter in their own right. You're a fighter, I'm a fighter. Everyone that's in this room, even the newspapermen, they're fighters. But everybody don't get up every morning and run. Everybody don't go to the gym every morning. And everybody don't have enough discipline to wait in the locker room for 2 hours or 3 hours, then go in the ring and do what they've been taught all those years in the gym. And so that's what separates a champion from a mediocre fighter. I don't believe in talent. Well, some people, they have talent. It's good. It helps when you have talent. As long as you have a lot of determination and willpower, that's all you need. And you have to have the will to win.
The world is sports, you know, and you have to be willing. Boxing and sports and everything in life is all about a bluff. It's almost like playing cards. Like I say more so than I say shooting dice. Yeah. You know, because you can change dice and stuff, but they can't. They're hard. They can't mold. You know what I mean? You just gotta if you just shooting, you shoot. Cards can bend. Yeah. Cards can bend like life. Us in life, we can bend. And even though we got a bad hand, that don't mean we're gonna lose the game. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're gonna stay in there, we're gonna hold it to the end. And it's the same way in fighting and in life. Because we were born in swallows and sewers and gutters, that don't mean we're gonna stay there if we have the desire, willpower, perseverance to be able to endure the pain. Yeah. We gotta endure that pain. I love war. I love the act of war. I love the players in war. I love the philosophy of war. Most people, what I do for a living, they avoid their whole entire life. Yeah. There's an unwritten clause in our contract that anytime during training and fighting, you can die. That's a great possibility that we wish don't happen, we hope don't happen. Dying is just as glorious as living when you really think about it, because you couldn't have a life if you didn't have death, and you couldn't have death without life. So how could death be less glorious than life? They're both intertwined with one another. That's nothing to be sad about. Yeah, they used to bully me in school.
And so I never went back to school. So when my mother used to send me to school, I would just be hanging around the school. My first arrest, I guess I was 10 years old, my first arrest. I got addicted to it even more, so I wasn't afraid to go to jail anymore. And so I became a more advanced criminal, so to speak. I never had an ego. I was never really jealous of anybody. I never really thought most of myself. I always had a very complex life, and I never had a good psychological opinion about myself, and that's because of my upbringing. Some people's success is not using drugs, not drinking anymore. Some people's success is making $1 million. Some other people's success is making $1 billion. Some people's success is not going to prison no more. And we have totally different levels of success. Success for me is not cheating on my wife. Success for me is being responsible and being present. That's success for me. Greatness in itself doesn't come with goodness. The two don't coexist with one another. And I spent all my life trying to become great because I had such a low self-esteem. And I realized late in life that all great men are not good men. And then so I tried to embark on a whole different career and try to become good. But what's the concept of good? Being a floor mat? I never understood the concept of good. So how do we live in those two dimensions at once? You want that greatness for self-gratification, but you want goodness from a human perspective. How do I juggle both of them and be in harmony? And then in all actuality, they don't exist. You have to pick a side. The mind is always hungry. And the mind wants to do good, but we get so many negative thoughts in our mind, it's almost overwhelming to be positive. History allows us to control not society, but ourselves, which is a much more important thing to do, you know what I mean? And it would allow us to pretty much meet the future more so than foretell it. A room without a book is like a body without a soul. You know, we have to, it's the only way that we can connect the future with the past. The value of history is not necessarily scientific, but moral. By liberating our minds and, you know, deepening our sympathies and fortifying our will. I respect a person who's willing to die for what he truly wants. Entitlement, that's the word I was looking for. A lot of people entitlement. Some of my kids too, they're entitled. They think their bank account should yours though. I did this all this for them, but they have to match me. You know what I mean? If you're making $200, you got $200 a month. Whatever you have, I'll match that, but I'm not gonna give you something that you never worked for. You know, it wasn't about anything. Our whole life wasn't about making money, wasn't about being rich, and nobody on the planet could beat us. That was everything. My whole life, he said, best fight in the world, best fight in the world. There's nobody on the planet that could beat me. I could beat anybody on the planet in a fair fight, and that's what I always believe.